Good morning, artists. Mrs. Langless here, and today we are going to work on a special project in honor of the Easter holiday coming up. We are going to be working on these adorable little Easter bunny drawings that you see right in front of you. And in order to get started today, you are going to need a white piece of paper and a pencil. Later on, you may want a black marker or even a black crayon would work. Some coloring materials, or maybe even some paints for your background. I'm going to leave this one pretty wide open so that you can use whatever you have on hand. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to move my Easter bunny right on out of here, and let's work on another. Now I'm going to hold my paper the tall way. Okay, you might notice that on my example it was that way. It's hard for me to fit it all in the screen, but here he is. Yes, I'm going to hold my paper the tall way, and I'm going to start right at the bottom, and I've got my pencil ready. So the first thing I want you to do is take your hand that is your non-drawing hand. Okay, so for me, it's my left hand, and I'm going to place it down on the paper. Now, we are not going to be tracing our hand, but we're using it to sort of get a general shape for our rabbit's head. So check this out. I'm going to start over here, and I'm just going to make a rounded curve all the way around my hand. Now there is a wonderful oval shape for my Easter bunny's head. All right, the next step, we are going to come up toward the top of our paper, and I want you to make a dot toward each corner. So see how the corner's right here? You're just going to make a dot. Now that's going to help us to make our ears as we move forward. So using those dots as guides, we're going to connect the dot to the top of the head, making another curve. So watch this. I'm going to make a curving shape going in this direction, and then a curving shape going in the opposite direction. Okay, so there's one of my bunny's ears. Now I'm going to go over to the other one, and again, I'll start on the curve on the outside, and then a curve on the inside. And then if they're not totally the same, it really doesn't matter. It makes your bunny look even more interesting. All right, so now moving forward, we are going to make a dot in the center of our face. So I'm just going to come back here, and I'm going to make a dot. Okay, now from there, we're kind of making his like little his mouth and his nose that kind of juts out from his face. So we're just going to make two oval shapes. So one there and one there. And if they're not even, like Mrs. Langless's, that's fine too. Next, I'm going to make another little circle or bump. Now this one's going to be his nose. And now I'm going to add the teeth. Now I like to make the teeth kind of like buck teeth coming out, and I like to even make them uneven because I think it makes him look silly, which I really like. Now I'm going to come back up to the ears really quick, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make another dot toward the top here, and another dot toward the top here, and make another curve, and a curve, a curve, and a curve. So there's his ears, and we forgot his eyes. Now you can make your eyes in any way that you'd like. I'm just going to make them real simple and make two dots. So there's my eyes. Now you can make your eyes, you could make big circles, whatever you'd like to do for your bunny. Now, the very last step of this drawing, I really like to add in awesome whiskers. So I'm going to add 3 whiskers on either side, and I like to make them curl around. So I'm going to make them start here, and I'm going to make a line, and then curl it at the end, just like that. Now I'm going to make another a little bit lower down, and I'm going to curl it again. Come a little bit further down. Last one, curl. Now I'm going to go over to the other side and do the same thing. So I'm going to make a line come out, curl, line come out, curl, and then one more. There it is. Now that my bunny is all drawn, I'm going to go ahead and trace the lines with either a black crayon or a black marker. Now, when you're tracing, remember, you're just following the path that the line already made. So I am going to start where we first began and actually just trace the whole head shape again. And then we came up and did the ears. And if you go off track like I did, don't worry, you can always go back and erase, and then it looks like you meant to do it, right? I love making mistakes because that's when I know that I'm really learning. And sometimes some of my best artwork actually comes from making mistakes. All right. And I'm just going to keep on going. Now, once you get this all traced, you can really color it in whatever way you want with whatever materials you would like. I'm going to show you what I did with my bunny that I showed you at the beginning. And if you would like to do it in that way, fantastic. If you want to do it in a different way, that is also fantastic. So again, make it your own. All right, so there's my bunny. Now, one of the things I noticed is, like I said, I did go off track a little bit, like here, and I'm just going to erase. When you erase the pencil lines, it just makes your artwork look more finished, look more clean, and sweep off those eraser bits. And I know I went off track a little bit down here too. All right, so just erasing all those extra pencil lines that are left behind. And then once you're done, go ahead and start with your coloring process. Now let me tell you about what I did for this particular artwork, okay? So I just have been loving painting lately. So what I did first was to take some crayons. I used this pink right here to color in the insides of the ears and the nose. And then I decided I wanted to use a white crayon to color in the ears. Now, you might say, well, the bunny was already white. Why did you use a white crayon to color over? Well, that's because I used paint in the background. So by coloring with the white crayon around the edges, it seals it in because the paint will not get on your bunny then. So if you use white crayon to just go around and color it in, it makes it easier to paint and not get paint inside your beautiful white bunny. So on mine, because it's spring and it's starting to get sunnier and rainier and warmer, all of those things, I decided to make some grass and also some blue sky. You can color it one solid color, like I said, any way you want with whatever materials you want. I hope you had fun with this. When you're finished, please take a photo and share your artwork back with me. And have a wonderful Easter, everyone, and I will catch up with you next week. Take care, guys.